Thea, your Divine Feminine Educator. How are you doing? I want you to know that you are a leader of love. And in these videos, I want to help you be the leader of love that you were meant to be. You know, it's about choosing love over fear during these transformational times. In this video, what I want to talk to you about is about setting healthy boundaries. Now, let me ask you, did you learn how to set healthy boundaries when you were growing up as a child? Did you even have good role models? Did your parents role model good boundary setting? Chances are they didn't. We really most of us come from a very dysfunctional, maybe very loving family, nonetheless dysfunctional family of origin, where most people really didn't learn how to set healthy boundaries. What are healthy boundaries and how do you set them? In this video, I want to give you 3 ways that you can set healthy boundaries, what it takes to start doing that. You know, I've been working on communication, healthy boundaries, feeling my feelings, all of this, and it's still very challenging to set healthy boundaries. But guess what healthy boundaries actually are? It has not so much to do with the mind. Your healthy boundaries and setting them has everything to do with your feelings. So really, healthy boundaries are your feelings and tuning into your feelings and giving them a voice. But the problem is that your feelings can change moment to moment depending upon what type of input that you're receiving from your relationships, right? So feelings are very fluid and they change from moment to moment. And here's my little girl who is always challenging my boundaries around her attention, wanting attention. So most of us weren't taught healthy boundaries. So what we do instead are barricades. So what's the difference between a boundary and a barricade? A healthy boundary actually typically involves working towards a mutual satisfaction, mutual harmony. It's not black and white. It's not black and white thinking, right? It involves room to grow, like room to process. It's not shutting someone down. And it creates emotional safety. So healthy boundaries create an environment for emotional safety and actually create room and space for you or the other person or both to really change your perceptions. So healthy boundaries typically involve dialogue, communication. Barricades, on the other hand, is black and white thinking. It's either this way or that way. It's either my way or the highway. Or it's denial, pretending like it doesn't exist or avoiding it, not wanting to talk about it. No dialogue involved, but passive aggressive behavior. So that's barricades. And typically, you know that you're not doing a healthy boundary, you're doing a barricade when you've created some type of ultimatum or some type of no, this doesn't work for me anymore in a state of trigger and upset. So healthy boundaries involves more harmony, more peace, more dialogue. Barricades involves more black and white ultimatums, and it doesn't feel good. Now, let me give you 3 keys to help you set healthy boundaries. Number 1, be able to communicate a good yes or an authentic yes or an authentic no. Number 2, literally activate your voice box. I'll go into that in a moment. And number 3, create a relationship with yourself. Now, these are not the cure-all and be-all, but these are 3 good starts to help you learn how to cultivate healthy boundaries. Okay, so the ability to communicate a healthy yes or a healthy no. Can you say no without feeling guilty about it? Or do you say yes when you really mean no? Good morning. What I'm talking about is setting healthy boundaries and learning how to set healthy boundaries. And the 3 keys to know, these are 3 helpful hints or 3 skills to develop so that you can create healthy boundaries. Number 1 is to be able to say your yes, a healthy yes, an authentic yes, or an authentic no. Free yourself from people pleasing. Number 2 is activate your voice. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Really powerful. This is a simple thing that you can do. Activate your voice box. And the last one is create a healthy relationship with yourself. So I'm still talking about the ability to communicate a healthy yes or a healthy no. Being able to know what your yes is and what your no is. Because you see, we're really connected to other people. And typically you'd say yes when you really want to say no, but you don't want to cause any waves and you don't want to rock the boat and you don't want to disappoint another person. But typically that doesn't work. So if you really don't want to do something, you need to learn the skill to be able to say no without shutting down your heart or the other person's heart. And that's an actual skill. Now, I am so sorry, but she is really, what I typically do is I typically put her in the other room so that she's not whining while we have to work out these boundary issues while I do my lives. But she's such a beautiful baby. I don't know if you're a cat person, but she's such a sweetheart. I really love her. She's very sensitive. You know, I think that people that are really sensitive, here, honey, you go over there. Oh, Petcha. Really need to learn the fine art of setting healthy boundaries, because your boundaries are your feelings. And if you're feeling other people, then it's really hard for you to know your yes and your no. And the way that you solve that is the number 3, create a deeper relationship with yourself. Come on, honey. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm just going to hold her while I talk through these. The number 2, so that's number 1, the ability to communicate a healthy yes and a healthy no. Number 2 is activating your voice box. I mean, we were, especially women, we were programmed, I have hair all over myself. We were programmed to be nice girls, not rock the boat, put a smiley face on, right? And, you know, this is about the 5th chakra. There's energy systems in our body, and the 5th chakra is aligning our will with divine will. Speaking your truth, honoring your needs, staying in integrity with who you are, not sacrificing your truth for another, and honoring their truth. So it's really a slippery slope, but sometimes it's really scary. I find that many times it can be really scary speaking your truth because you don't want to rock the boat. So we don't even have the muscles to open our voice box. So this is on a very physical level. To activate your truth, to activate your 5th chakra, is to really work those muscles, activate your voice box. So how can you do that? You can take singing lessons, you can take, you know, a beautiful way to do it is to get CDs of songs that you really love and play them while you're driving and sing while you're driving. You know, when I was doing my Kundalini training, I would put my chanting CDs on, and I would drive from Las Vegas to LA once a month for eight months, I think it was, yes. And I'd spend the weekend in LA chanting, but I would chant across the desert. And that really opened my voice box. It was an amazing opportunity, an amazing experience spending that time chanting. So you can either chant, get some Kundalini chants and chant while you're driving in the car, or you can just sing songs while you're driving in the car. That's a beautiful way. But I'll tell you this idea of literally physically working your voice box, doing lives like this, is a beautiful way. Getting opportunities to speak in front of people is how you activate that fifth chakra, speaking what's on your heart. This is powerful. So that's number 2. Physically activating your muscles of your voice box. And the last one is creating a relationship with yourself. How well do you know yourself? Is it hard for you to be by yourself? Do you spend time with yourself? Do you take yourself out on a date? Who are you? Do you know? You see, we project ourselves out into the world. But if you want to have a good relationship with healthy boundaries where you honor yourself and you honor the other person, you need to cultivate that inward, your inner world, basically. And when you do, you'll know exactly what's going on with you from moment to moment, because it changes, because we are living with other people and interacting with other people. So to review what I covered, the 3 keys to setting healthy boundaries is number 1, your ability to communicate a healthy yes and a healthy no, and knowing how to move through that without feeling guilty or falling to people pleasing. Really being able to just honestly speak your truth. Number 2 is activating your voice box. In order to be able to speak your truth, you need to have your vocal cords working properly and strongly so that when you speak with intent, right? My little kitty in the beginning of this video was pulling me off center, and I had to like navigate her and navigate this video. So it was kind of awesome. So activating your voice so that it streams with strong intent is literally a physical process. You can do that through singing, through chanting, while you're driving in the car, and opportunities to speak out in front of people. And the last one is really cultivating a relationship with yourself. We project outward, go inward, find out who you are, because it changes from moment to moment. You are growing, you are evolving. So what is true for you? Right now, more than ever in our world, it's time for us to speak our truth, to awaken our voice box, and to deepen our relationship with ourselves. Let's not do barricades, walls. Let's do healthy boundaries and honor each other. I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it was a little bit jagged in the beginning, but I forged through, and I want you to too. Start learning how to set healthy boundaries and do what's your truth, what's right for you. Role model it and do it with love. All right. Namaste.